What's up, everybody? The Sword and Shield's full Pokedex seems to have leaked online, with nearly 500 Pokemon being Thanos snapped away for the final game, which means over 60% of the Pokemon from each generation will be unavailable in Sword and Shield. And fans of the series are obviously super outraged, and in this video we'll be talking about the potential good, if there is any, the bad, and the ugly with this news, as well as the future of the National Dex in upcoming Pokemon games, coming right up. So I want to start off this video by saying I am an absolute huge fan of Pokemon. I played the original Pokemon Red 20 years ago. When it first came out, and have played almost every Pokemon ever since that, and I'm playing Pokemon Go nowadays with my Pokeball Plus. I am absolutely hyped for Sword and Shield. I'm just a huge Pokemon fan, and so this all comes from a place of love and hype for the series, and I think most people that are maybe upset or happy about the game, no matter what camp they're in with the National Dex and the ongoing leaks right now, I think most people come from a place of just wanting to see the best of the series, and that's where I'm coming from too when it comes to talking about Pokemon. And so when I start off the video with the good, I don't want to necessarily seem like a blind shill for Pokemon. I just kind of want to approach this National Dex controversy with a little bit of a positive spin before we get into the bad and the ugly. I do want to give a shout out to Polygon here. It's through their article that I was able to find out the whole list of Pokemon that have been cut and Pokemon that are staying in the game, as well as a look at the upcoming Sword and Shield Pokemon, which I'm maybe going to be discussing in another video. You can see with their list here that almost all starting Pokemon, if not every single starting Pokemon, as well as almost all of the legendary Pokemon, have been completely cut from the game, with only Charmander through Charizard there being kept. You have Pikachu, obviously, Raichu, Growlithe, a few of these original 150 Pokemon here, but beyond that, a lot of them have been cut in giant blocks of green with Pokemon that aren't making it in the game. And people obviously saw this list and it almost seemed like a hoax. The math came out to be 60% of Pokemon are gone. And so we're going to be using this context for the rest of the video. And what I want to start off by saying is I do think, it's good is a bad word for it, but when we kind of use the phrase the good, the bad, and the ugly, I think one of the important things to remember is that when you play through Pokemon Sword and Shield, I would think that, I don't know the number, 70, 80, maybe even 90% of players that play Pokemon are going to go through their Pokemon Sword and Shield adventure and not even realize that a lot of these Pokemon are cut. You're going to be playing with your new starter, you're going to be playing with the new Galarian forms, the new Galarian Pokemon. You're going to have your set little team, probably early on in the game, maybe finding a few throughout the game that you want to add to your party. And by the time you get to the end, there's so many games to play nowadays. Luigi's Mansion just came out. We got Star Wars coming up, Cyberpunk, you got Animal Crossing coming out next year, and Animal Crossing is going to be a massive time sink. And I don't know about you, but I didn't even get to finish my Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu adventure until recently, where I just had the hype for Sword and Shield and I wanted to return to that. And I even struggled to get through all of my Sun and Moon adventure. I think a lot of people may be in my sort of camp where they're not either finishing their Pokemon adventures, or they're finishing and after 30 to 40 hours, they're kind of content with their Pokemon adventure. And then I think it's more of a small group of people that are actually going deep into the end game, going deep into the meta, and using all 800 plus Pokemon to do these really nice epic battles. And I'm not trying to undermine that at all. I just think a lot of people are in the camp that if the Pokemon Company or if Game Freak had never said that they were cutting any Pokemon, I'm actually kind of curious how many people would actually know. I think there maybe be someone that would load up and be like, oh, I want to import my Bulbasaur from Pokemon Go, or I want to bring forward my original 150 Pokemon that I just got in Pokemon Let's Go. And then they'd be like, oh, error message, you can't bring over, you can't even bring over Mew. What in the world? There's, a Mew's been cut from the game? Are they saving that for, a magic Pokeball that you can go in? Or no, Mew's safe. Mewtwo's not safe. Wait, Mewtwo's not safe? Oh my gosh. They don't have the most powerful Pokemon of all time in there? You can't do Totodile? I don't know. See, that's where it gets weird. Pokemon that you would think would be 100% guaranteed safe just weren't safe. And I don't completely understand that. There's still 400-ish Pokemon. When you played the original Pokemon Red and Blue, you didn't even dream of Pokemon beyond 150. You were so content with that original experience that you had. And then when you had Gold and Silver and you had 300 Pokemon to choose from, it was like, wow, all of these options. And so we're still going to have 400 to 500 Pokemon to choose from, which is going to be absolutely crazy as far as the amount of options goes. It's just a real bummer if you don't have the Pokemon that you want in there, which leads us to the bad. And so with all that good being said, I don't think a lot of people maybe would even notice if it had not been for the controversy and all the tweets, you know, bring back the national dex and all that. I think the bad truth of the matter is that it is nice to have the option to pick whatever Pokemon you want. You know, like, I'm not going to be someone that's going to advocate against options. Obviously, in an ideal world, we would have every single Pokemon available, and we'd have new Pokemon available, and we'd have Alolan and Galarian forms of all of our favorite Pokemon. We'd have options upon options, and you'd be able to get them all, you know, in your custom Pokemon adventure. But the fact of the matter is we just don't live in that world. But I do understand just the bad that you can't get what you necessarily completely want. You have these Pokemon that maybe you've bonded with for 20 years now, and then you can't have that in your next adventure. That really sucks. And so I want to make sure people know that when I'm coming out here and saying, hey, here's maybe you wouldn't have even noticed, you know, there's gonna be some people that like, no, I definitely would have noticed, and I recognize that, and I think people are gonna miss a few Pokemon. There's gonna maybe feel a little bit of a hollowness when you have Charmander, but you don't have Bulbasaur and Squirtle to complete your squad. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people are gonna be hoping for this kind of Super Smash Brothers Ultimate-esque experience where it's like everyone is here, everyone's in this Pokemon game, or, you know, finally we have this Pokemon Stadium Definitive Edition. Like, we've wanted Pokemon Stadium for years, to sit down on the couch to have your console Pokemon game. And I think after Let's Go, we were really hungering for it. And to have all of your Pokemon, to have a full roster to pick from, and just have endless combinations and parties and playing online with your friends where you can just 800 plus Pokemon, you can just have these endless game for $60, and you just aren't gonna be getting that. So that really sucks. There's kind of now even a little bit of a hopelessness where you're like, are we ever gonna get the national dex back? And we're gonna talk about that in a second, but it definitely stings to see this initial list that's completely bare bones. And so all of that leads to the ugliness that is just this whole situation where it all started with Game Freak saying, hey, we're cutting the national dex. In place of the national dex, we're going to be able to work better on animations. We're going to be able to be better with game balancing. We're going to be able to be better with gameplay and battles and these mechanics and things like that. We're going to be able to make a better experience overall. And now that we're seeing more and more of the game, we're still seeing animations that are maybe reused from previous games. We're still seeing battle animations where someone jiggles 3 times and a lightning bolt shoots out of them. A water Pokemon shoots out water, and it's supposed to come from a certain part of their body, but instead it just comes from this void in front of them that shoots out water. And it's like, wait, you cut 400 Pokemon. You weren't able to somehow use all that time and resources of not porting over Pokemon to instead make this overall game better? Like, it seems a little bit like more of the same. But from what we've seen, there's not too much that completely revolutionizes the gameplay experience. And the ugliness in that is that you look at a game like Super Mario Odyssey, which completely reinvents the way we handle 3D Mario with different kingdoms and this open world concept. And you look at a game like The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which not only changed the way the Zelda formula worked, but it completely changed how open world games work, to the point that people play open world games now and they're like, how come I can't climb on everything? And you look at a game like Animal Crossing coming up, which breaks the boundaries of what we've known with Animal Crossing, where not only can you customize your house, but you can customize your entire island. And then you look at Pokemon Sword and Shield, there's not really that pinpoint thing that says, oh, this is the thing that completely revolutionizes Pokemon. Dynamaxing, G-Maxing, like, is that going to completely revolutionize Pokemon? Like, it's definitely maybe a neat little gimmick to see Pokemon, you know, larger than life, these huge things and these huge stadiums and these gym battles that become these giant spectacles and shows. But is it revolutionizing Pokemon? Like, is that going to change the way turn-based RPGs work? Probably not. The problem with that is we don't mind, at least I don't mind personally, if there's not a whole ton of revolution. Just give me my core gameplay experience, give me a new region of Pokemon, give me a 50 to 100 new Pokemon, new designs, new things to chase, and I'll be a happy camper. But the problem is when you cut 400 Pokemon with the promise of this insane upgrade and you don't deliver on that, it creates really upset fans. You're left with a game that does less than what it did before. But the other thing is it costs 50% more than previous Pokemon games because they were on the handheld consoles like the 3DS, and this is a home console experience, and so it has that $60 price tag, and you're like, oh crap, like, it has less Pokemon, it's a bigger price. Oh no, you get to the point where people start saying, I'm not even gonna buy this. Or people are really gonna have to come to this point where they're gonna decide, are they gonna buy this game? And I'm curious to see what the final sales are. Are people gonna actually boycott Pokemon Sword and Shield because of the national dex? Because I'm sorry to say, if there's the 80 or 90% of people that aren't really gonna care that they don't have these Pokemon, and they're gonna be content with the new Galarian forms, the new Galarian region, and that's going to be all they really need, you know, Game Freak's gonna make a lot of money, and they're gonna be like, wow, we don't have to port over 400 Pokemon, and we can still make just as much money as we did before, and look how much time we saved. Yay, yay, yay. But if they actually suffer, if they actually don't make as much money, they're gonna be busting their butts to make sure that the next time they release a Pokemon game, it delivers a full Pokemon experience. And maybe it's just become more of a workload than they anticipated, and they're just trying to get there. They're just trying to get to that point where they can have every single Pokemon with new animations. They all can be G-Maxed or Dynamaxed or Mega Evolutions, and it can all work together, and we can finally have, you know, Pokemon Stadium on a home console HD 2020, 2021 experience, and that's going to be the end goal, and it's just taking a little bit longer than they thought. You know, that's the hope, that's the plan. Bummer part about that is that it's most likely going to cost another $60, or even if it's an expansion to Sword and Shield, which I really doubt, you know, most likely $20 to $30, spending even more just to get the Pokemon experience that you kind of thought you were promised a little. So it's this whole thing of frustration and disappointment, which is not really something that you want going into a game that you're really excited about. You know, it's our first adventure in a new region on the Nintendo Switch. Even if you don't notice all of the Pokemon cut, even if you don't notice that you can't go catch a Bulbasaur in the middle of the grass, you're still gonna kind of have this looming over you that it's not full Pokemon experience that maybe you felt entitled to. All that to say, I will say this. I don't know if Game Freak really cares about us as far as, you know, they're hearing our cries for the national Dex, and they're hearing our cries for better animation and things like that. Look on the absolute worst case scenario, and they're just these evil corporate overlords that all they're doing is looking for the ways to get the most money and do the least amount of work, and they're like, let's cut as many Pokemon as possible and all that. The fact of the matter is, if they are truly that evil, which I don't think they are. I think they definitely have shown that they do have a dedication and commitment to the Pokemon franchise and a love for it. Let's just say, hypothetically, they are just completely soulless people that only care about money. The fact of the matter is, they have an absolute insane amount of Pokemon to make merchandise for, to make products for, to get money off of, and there's no way they're just gonna abandon all of those Pokemon forever. So even though these Pokemon aren't making it into Sword and Shield, the National Dex will return one day, because they're going to want to sell Bulbasaur plushies, they're going to want to sell Squirtle figurines, they're going to want to sell Mewtwo action figures and things like that. Like, there's no way those are simply going away forever. And so while we have this temporary era where we don't have access to every Pokemon that we'd ever want, they're definitely going to be available, if not here, through Pokemon Home, which is coming out, I don't even know when. Leave a comment down below if you know when Pokemon Home's coming out. But that could be your way to complete the National Dex. There is hope, even in the worst case scenario, that we're going to be getting these Pokemon back in games. And I don't know if many people had that fear that we wouldn't be getting all of the Pokemon eventually, but I definitely think we are. I think we're going to get them back. They're coming home eventually. You wanted it in Sword and Shield. I wanted it in Sword and Shield. You know, I'm just happy that we got Growlithe. Let me check real quick. Cubone's gone? Man. Wait, you can't get Geodude, which means you can't get a Alolan Geodude? I love a Alolan Geodude. Wait. They've cut so many Pokemon, dude. I cannot believe how many Pokemon they cut. So I'm bummed too. Like, I hope you guys know that. I'm just talking to kind of give us all some hope here, to kind of give us some context and perspective. But man, I am looking at this list right now. You can't get Meryl. There's no Meryl in this game. You gotta be freaking kidding me. Oh my word. You know, I would love to have a Meryl on my team. But here's the thing though. There's 100 new Pokemon. I'll just play with one of those. I probably wouldn't even have had Meryl on my team. You know, I probably would have never had him. I don't know. I've ranted on long enough though about Pokemon. This video can be called the Pokemon rant or something like that, but I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Let me know down in the comment section below what you think of this whole National Dex controversy. Let me know what you think about Pokemon Sword and Shield, what you've seen from the previews. I will say this, to close out on a hopeful, positive note, the game looks absolutely gorgeous. It's a gorgeous game. The music is going to be awesome. And the Galarian Pokemon are all shaping out to be really unique designs, really unique forms. I love the G-Maxed Pokemon. And so it's definitely going to be a great Pokemon adventure. It's just, I think all of us have a little, it's that sour and sweet. It's a little bit of a bittersweet thing. And I think some of us are leaning a bit towards bitter. I think some people, actually I don't think many people, but I think a few people may be leaning a little bit towards the sweet and not acknowledging the bitterness of the situation. I think we gotta meet right there in the middle. You know, we gotta just enjoy the Pokemon experience for what it is, also demand better. So I think I challenge you, if you don't think this is a worthy $60 product, don't buy it. But if you want a hype Pokemon adventure, if you want to go on another little journey with these Poke Friends, then 100% buy it, and don't feel ashamed to be supporting a product that brings you joy and happiness. Go ahead, put down the $60 and have a good time. Leave a comment down below, leave a like while you're down there. Be sure to subscribe. So I'll talk to you guys down there, but until next time, bye.